One.
Hi everyone, welcome to my new BookTube channel. I'm Girl with Books and Wheels, and I thought, after posting on Instagram since January about my love of books and everything book related, that it was finally time for me to maybe start trying to post content on YouTube to do more in-depth videos. Any challenges that people want to throw my way, I will happily try. I read every single genre you could possibly think of, as you can probably tell from my massive bookcases behind me that I absolutely love. And yes, I have been reading for as long as I can remember, basically. It's been a massive hobby and my safe space for practically as long as I can remember. I adore being able to put myself into any form of book and just forget reality for a bit. So I started, the genres that I started off with were definitely fantasy, and it's been my go-to ever since. But I also adore romance and anything spicy. Also have a full shelf dedicated to crime, thrillers, mystery, true crime, because I'm also a bit of a true crime nerd and geek. I will be honest and say that I don't read many of the classics because I tend to just read what I love, and it's never been something that's drawn me that way. I've read Sherlock Holmes. I love Sherlock Holmes, but I do plan on eventually, somehow, trying to read Jane Austen. But she's very much, I think you either love it or hate it, and I'm trying to decide when's the best time for me to read those, which isn't right now. I say my biggest challenge of a book that I ever read was The Odyssey by Homer. Not The Odyssey by Homer, The Iliad by Homer. I love Greek mythology. It's one of my passions. It's definitely probably an obsession now. I could name you every Greek god and goddess under the sun, but it was definitely more of a challenging book because of the way it was formatted. I don't often find books challenging unless the format is a certain way, and this was set in like proper, I think they call it prose, or it was set up in like proper poetry-esque verses, so it was a story, but definitely a very interesting one to kind of push through some of my challenges with, which I very much enjoyed, though it was the longest time it's ever taken me to finish a book. I think I started it and I want to say the summer and didn't finish it till October, so quite a while for me, because I can normally read 4 or 5 books a week when it's a good week. Because I've also recently gotten I got a Kindle last year, and it's been a game changer. For those who maybe haven't seen me on Instagram, I also have cerebral palsy, so trying to hold a book sometimes, especially when my spasms are bad, can be very difficult. So having a Kindle has been a lifesaver, and it's also opened my world up to being a ARC reader, so reading advanced readers' copies. I love doing that now and helping promote small-time authors or authors that maybe haven't been talked about enough. I absolutely love that. And I'm really hoping to keep making content and just being a bookworm, but not just for me anymore, because there's such a lovely community online, and I really want to find my place in it, because I think that it could be a really good outlet for me. So now you know a bit about me, I'm gonna do my last, now, and next. Basically what I read in the recent past, what I'm reading at the minute, and then what my future read will be. So one of my past reads was The Night Hunt by Alexandra Christo, and I'd seen a lot of her books in the works before, and trust me when I say it's very difficult for me to go into the works, which is a British UK like stationery and arts and crafts store that also does books, and never leave without a book. They are very cheap, especially if you get stuff in the 3 for £6 section. It's basically where you can get 3 books for £6, which who wouldn't love that? It's amazing. And the works have done a lot of Alexandra Christo's books. It's like a box set, and I've really wanted to get it for a long time, but I haven't yet. So I settled on grabbing The Night Hunt, which is a fantasy, and I'll read you the blurb now. So enter a world of gods and monsters. Atia is the last of her kind. She hides in the shadows, feeding off fear and hungering for vengeance against the gods who killed her family. Silas knows what it means to be at the mercy of the gods. As the herald, he is bound to ferry souls to the afterlife, as punishment for a past he can't remember. Tia would never dream of allying with someone like him, but when the gods send monsters to hunt her, Silas offers an irresistible deal. He'll help Tia destroy the gods. In return, she must break the curse upon him and restore humanity. Only together can they rewrite their destinies. And when I say I wasn't 100% sure going into this book if I was going to love it or not, it's definitely an understatement, because I have my favourite authors, so Cassandra Clare, Sarah Dumas. Those two are my big fantasy authors, and it takes a lot to kind of make me love them. Make me love other authors like them, should I say. And this book took me on a whole whirlwind journey. When I say I started off with the first few chapters thinking, oh my god, I don't know if I'm going to get into this, to, by the end, like, being on the edge of my seat, no pun intended, it was amazing. And it definitely makes me want to read more of her work in the future. The way it was written and the characters and even the side characters were phenomenal. And I'm not often one of those people that says that the whole group of characters works really well together, because I'm always one of those people that only likes a certain type of characters. I know I'm very picky, but this group throughout the whole book was amazing, and the found family trope is one that I absolutely love, and it being in a fantasy world just makes it 10 times better. So I would highly recommend that. I did give it 5 stars, so that was my recent past read. Hang on a minute. I am currently reading, when I can pick it up, I'll pick it up in a minute. I'm currently reading Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings, which is the second in her Magnolia Parks universe. I read Magnolia Parks on my Kindle, and then got it in paperback because I wanted it on my bookshelf. I will often do that with Kindle books if I've read them, like say the Elsie Silver series I've been reading lately. I got that from The Works again. You'll hear me mention The Works a lot in my videos because it's like my main place to get books in my local area, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, Daisy Hates follows Daisy Hates in her story. We briefly met her in Magnolia Parks, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about a book being about her, but it's definitely growing on me. I'm only 166 pages in, so I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, I have a feeling, but you're never quite sure when you're only this early into a really big book because you feel like anything could happen. But let me read the blurb. No guns at the dinner table. All Daisy Hates has ever wanted is a normal life, but as the little sister of London's most notorious gang lord, her life is complicated, and things don't become any easier when she falls hard for the beautiful and emotionally unavailable Christian Hems, who also happens to be one of the few men in London who doesn't answer to her brother Julian. Christian is hopelessly in love with his best friend's girlfriend, Magnolia Parks, but he's happy enough to use Daisy to disguise his true affections until she starts to infiltrate those two. As their romance blossoms into something neither were anticipating, Daisy, Christian and Julian must come to terms with the fact that in this life everything comes at a price. My favourite character in this book so far, I want to say I love Julian. I'm all for a morally grey guy. And that's most of my fictional fantasy men, to be fair. They're all morally grey. I don't go for anything other than that most of the time. But yeah, Julian is definitely my favourite and he's growing on me. I wish I'd kind of had more, I wish there was a bit more of him, but that might come later in the book, because as I said, I'm only like not even a quarter way through. I love Daisy. I love how she's kind of the opposite of Magnolia, because the one thing I didn't like in Magnolia Parks was how kind of whiny she was, whereas Daisy is kind of the exact opposite. She's very much fierce, independent, has had to grow up that way because of the stuff that has happened in her life. But Julian being the protective brother, just, it's amazing. So I definitely say if you want to get into this universe, to take the first book with a pinch of salt, because I definitely think people either love it or hate it, but I think Daisy Hates so far has definitely topped it for me. So I'll keep you updated. We'll see how it goes. But yes, absolutely loving it. And then my next book is It Ends at Midnight by Harriet Tice. And one thing I do with my books now is I have a TBR jar behind me, and I put all the titles of like my books into there, and I just pick them out, and I have like a pile of different genres that I love to read, and I can read whatever titles come out, and it's all exciting and great because they're all different genres and I absolutely love it. So this one is It Ends at Midnight by Harriet Tice, which, to be fair, I'll probably get to by the end of this week, depending on how I go with Daisy Hates. But I'm going to plug myself a little bit here and say that you can always catch up on what I'm reading on my Instagram, which is Girl of Books and Reels. Easy to remember because it's also the name of this channel. So, yeah, shameless little plug there. But I'll read you the blurb of It Ends at Midnight. This was a really good deal because, as you can see on the sticker, it was 3 for $6. Or just $2.50 on its own, which, to be fair, also a really good deal for a book. So this is It Ends at Midnight by Harriet Tice. I hadn't heard of Harriet Tice before this, but apparently she's actually done some really good books, so I might have to pick up some more point. So, the explosive new thriller from the Sunday Times best-selling author of Blood Orange and The Lies You Told. It's New Year's Eve and the stage is set for a lavish party in one of Edinburgh's best postcodes. It's a moment for old friends to set the past to rights and move on. The night sky is alive with fireworks and the champagne is flowing, but the celebration fails to materialise because someone at the party is going to die tonight. Midnight approaches and the countdown begins, but it seems one of the guests doesn't want a resolution. They want revenge. This is my ideal size for a thriller that is described as this. Thrillers would be a very hit and miss because sometimes I feel like they're too drawn out, and other times I think, holy hell, it's way too fast. I need more. So I will keep everyone updated on how this goes. I'm very excited. And yes, so that was my last now next. And I'm always looking as a new booktuber to have video ideas. So comment any video ideas down below, any crazy challenges, even if it's like rainbow books, like just show me all of them. Give me content ideas because I really want to make a good go of this, and I feel like an important part of that is making a community from the get-go, which I already feel like I've partly done on my Instagram, and I hope a lot of you watching are from my Instagram. But if you're not, thank you for watching, for even spending 5 minutes just listening to me ramble about books and introduce myself. Probably in a very awkward way. I will get used to doing videos and cameras, but it could take me a while. Mainly because I always feel like I'm not very good at showcasing the books due to my muscle spasms. But I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Feel free to follow or find me on Instagram at Girl of Books and Wheels, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.